HOA neighborhood, I knew the place came with history, a massive private backyard, and a pool that stretched almost the length of a tennis court. What I didn't know was that it also came with the HOA's self-appointed Sheriff Karen, the kind of woman who believed every inch of the world somehow fell under her rule. The very first week I moved in, she marched straight to my gate, clipboard in hand, sunglasses perched like a crown of authority, and demanded to inspect my pool because, according to her, it was community-adjacent. Property, I told her, plainly that my property wasn't part of the HOA. I paid no fees, and she had zero right to step inside. That was the start of a war she never expected to lose. The following Saturday, the heat was brutal, and I was doing maintenance by the pool when I heard noises by my back fence, splashing, laughing, kids yelling. I walked closer and realized what she'd done. Karen had led several HOA families straight through a side gate. She had broken open and was ushering them into my private pool, telling them the new guy was required to offer community access under some imaginary HOA bylaw. I stepped forward and told everyone, politely at first, that they needed to leave. Most of them apologized, embarrassed. But Karen snapped at me like I was trespassing on her land. "You can't deny residents access. This is common property," she screeched, pointing at the water like she owned the molecules. When I told her I had cameras, recording everything and that she was breaking and entering, she stormed off yelling, "Fine! I'm calling the cops! We'll see who's trespassing." I didn't panic. In fact, I almost felt bad for her. Almost. Because what she didn't know was that I had prepared for this exact battle. The property I bought used to belong to the developer, who built the entire neighborhood decades ago. And among the old documents stored in my safe was something nuclear, the original land deed, including the updated survey that proved the HOA's fence line, walking path, and even the little playground they bragged about were actually built 3 feet inside my property boundary. I had never planned to weaponize it, until Karen pushed me too far. 10 minutes later, the cops arrived, Karen leading them like she'd personally hired them. She pointed at me and claimed I was illegally blocking community pool access, that I was endangering families, and that the HOA had full rights to use the area. The officers turned to me, clearly used to her theatrics, and asked for my side. I calmly showed them the footage of Karen breaking the gate, and then handed them the deed. They looked it over, eyebrows raising higher and higher. When they finished, they turned to Karen and delivered the blow she never saw coming. "Ma'am, everything you just described? This pool isn't HOA property. None of this is. In fact, you're trespassing.